Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another segment of Success Talk. We are so happy that you are joining us today. Success Talk is all about business people, community people, ministry leaders that are making a difference in their communities. And we are powered by Business Empowered Chamber of Commerce. Today we have a very special guest with us, Angela Carson with the Pine Grove Association, and she's going to share a little bit with us about the Hope Center in Canton, Mississippi, the Hope Center. And so, Angela, how are you today?
Doing well, Kathy.
Good. You know, when I first saw that you were doing the Hope Center, building it and laying out, I said, that is the perfect spot right there. And right before you get into the heart of Canton, you find hope. And that's what I looked at. You know, I said, man, you know, and even as we were doing the gala, when we were at the gala, the Lord just began to speak to me about the Hope Center. And he said, I'm reclaiming my city as a city of hope.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, God, you know what? That's awesome. You know, we call Canton, Mississippi, the city of lights. But you know, we call it that, and it was named that from the movies and the lighting that we used to have around from the movies that came. We put lighting all around the city. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah.
I don't know if the lights are still sparkling like that, but I just see where God wants to bring hope to our city, and it not that we don't have hope,
right,
but He is making a statement with the works of your hands and what you're doing with the Hope Center.
Wow!
So that people can find, it's like a beacon of light. They're going to find hope in Canton, Mississippi.
Absolutely.
They won't just find it at the Hope Center.
Right, that's right.
But they're going to know that they have hope when they step into our city.
Absolutely.
And so I bless God for that. And I always like to give God the glory when He gives us a revelation of why He does what He does.
Absolutely.
You know, sometimes we have to question ourselves as entrepreneurs. Why, Lord, why did you call me to this? You know, why do you want me to do all of this here? You know, and then He comes up with a revelation so that I can call this city a city of hope. And my people are going to find hope when they come to this city.
Absolutely.
Glory to God. So, look, we're thankful for her. We're excited about this Hope Center, as y'all already can see that we're really excited about what she's doing with this Hope Center. But before we get into all of the nuggets that we want to talk about with the Hope Center, we want to talk about Pine Grove Association and how that came about. How long have you been working and just doing the things that you do for the community with Pine Grove?
Absolutely. So first of all, Kathy, just thank you for having me here. You know, you always put out good wisdom, good information. When you invited me, I thought back to when I was first starting my radio show, and you was my very first guest.
Yeah.
Who said, I'll come on and we'll talk. You know, Be in the Know was the name of the show. And
I remember.
Just appreciate all of that, and to now be where we are. New conversation, but still trying to do ministry work in the community. So Pine Grove was started over 31 years ago.
Wow.
I started it. So grew up in the Pine Grove community. That's where we got the name from and decided to keep it. And a simple story, my mom was in the community and saw a need. She wanted to help the children, provide activities, said, look, they don't have anything to do. So my parents owned about 2 acres of land out in that community on the corner of Pine Grove and Barnes Road. And she talked to Daddy and said, look, what can we do? They built a community center, the Pine Grove Community Center. And we just started having activities from a 4-H club to Bible study to a community choir to senior adult programs, Black history programs, you name it. We were doing it at the Pine Grove Community Center.
Wait a minute now. Wait just 1 minute. Your parents' aunt was over the 4-H club.
Right. They started the Pine Grove Pioneers 4-H club, that particular one.
Okay. Because I remember as a kid going to a 4-H club in the country. At the time, that's all I knew is that it was out the city limits.
Now that might have been the camp that you went to. That's different.
Okay,
16,
okay,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
the
just
parish
getting
camp.
ready to say, because I'm like, all right now, because I almost got drowned in that swimming pool.
No, that wasn't us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go on, tell us a little bit more about it.
So anyway, just started meeting needs in the community.
Mhm.
We had a place, and it became that gathering place
Mhm.
for learning, for fellowshipping, for tutoring, for after school, for doing some of what we do now.
Wow.
You know, was not planned. And so she didn't know how to do all the structure and all of that. I was actually living in Meridian at the time, running the 4-H program there.
Mhm.
Met a gentleman, and he introduced me to the world of nonprofits, to
Mhm.
know how to set it up, how to get the 501c3, and all of that.
Mhm.
And I'm forever grateful for what he did. And so it's just a lesson that we all learn from others. You know, none of us got here by ourselves. And so he did what he did, and I got the structure set up, and we started working,
Mhm.
mostly on a volunteer basis for years. I remember getting a grant from the Public Safety Commission to do, it was when drug and alcohol prevention was huge.
Mhm.
So we had that and had tutors to come in, but again, just serving in the community is what
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
And so during that time, I was also moving about. I left Meridian, I moved to Chicago, took a job with a college there, got too cold up there, stayed a couple of years, and said, look, I got to go back south. And so from there, moved back to Ole Miss, ran the student loan program, but all the time I was gone, I was still trying to run that and let the volunteers do what they were doing. And
Mhm.
finally was blessed to move back to the area, and I started working for the State Association for Nonprofits at the time,
Mhm.
which is now the Mississippi Alliance for Philanthropy and Nonprofits. Associate director there, working with nonprofits all over the state, helping them,
Mhm.
you know, training and all of that.
I think I had a couple of classes
Okay, could
there
have,
at one
yeah.
point in time. Mhm.
And in the restroom one day, and the Lord said, it's time for you to go.
Wow.
In a building similar to this. And I was like, go well, Lord. I'm not looking for anything. And I looked in the mirror. He said, it's time for you to go. Had nothing planned, Kathy. I had $1,000 saved at the time.
My.
And so I went on back into my office that day, and I said, okay, worked. And I went home, and I called my mom because I was living in Ridgeland. And I just told her, I said, it's time for me to leave my job.
Wow.
And she said, what you gonna do? You're not coming back here. How you gonna pay your mortgage? I said, I don't know, Mama, but that's where he's leading me.
Mhm.
And from there is where I stepped into the consulting, started Carson Consulting.
Mhm.
But there again, what was I doing with the consulting? Helping nonprofits, 501c3, grant writing, fundraising, board development, all of that. And so still do that now, but my shift has been toward Pine Grove. So I moved back to Canton about 3 years ago to move back in with my mom to help take care of my mom, right?
Yeah.
And I got to thinking, I said, shame on me if I can work with all these entities around the state, outside of the state, nationally, but my hometown, I'm not doing anything
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And so that's when we
I
just
feel
went
you.
to work, and of course we do Juneteenth and just a number of other things that came about. So we're just doing the work.
Right.
And a board member said one day, she said, I think we need more of a presence in the city limits because I don't think some people can get out to the center outside of the city limits. And so we started looking for a place.
Mhm.
Was looking and thought we had found a place, and was back and forth with the owner. He was like, oh yeah, you can do it, blah, blah, blah. Kind of gave us the runaround for about a year,
Mhm.
thinking that we was going to get it. Ended up not happening. One day we're driving down the street, my sister and I, get to the corner of Mount Zion and Canal Street.
Yeah.
And she looked and she said, I think that would be a good spot for the Hope Center.
Excellent spot.
And I'm like, because my mind was still up on this other spot that he didn't let us have, right? And so I just rode around and, meditated for a while to see, okay, I could see such and such. And from there, we, went into the works of getting it purchased. We have 5 acres there. Used to be the old cotton press. Much history there.
Mhm.
And bought the land and was ready to get things moving, thinking, okay, well, yeah, we're here, excited, folks are going to love it, da-da-da-da-da, it's going to move, blah, blah, blah. And that didn't happen as planned.
But it's something about how God gives us a vision, and it's really exciting.
Yes.
and in the first inception of it until reality hits that have we counted the cost yet? And when that kicks in, it's like all of the bubbles that we had was like, where'd it go? You know,
Right.
because now the weight of the reality of what God really said has hit you in a different,
that's right,
at a different place in your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's like, okay, the rubber has met the road.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
And the rubber keeps meeting the road at different levels, is what I'm finding out. And so we got the land purchased. I'm thankful for that. And we said, and I'm knowing how fundraisers normally go for nonprofits, that you raise a good portion of the monies even before you announce it. But the Lord will lead, no, you want to build community. You want to build buy-in. So make the announcement. And we went with it. And that's what we did. And so thinking, okay, yeah, everybody see it, they're going to get it. Well, everybody didn't see it and didn't want to get it. Okay?
I got it.
And so I'm like, okay, Lord, so we're out here, so give me guidance. I was in the gym one day. I was actually going to the gym out at the nursing home at the time. And she's actually a distant cousin, love her to death. And, you know, you just need sometimes just the older folks to say, we proud of you. You can do this. So anyway, she stopped me in the gym and she said, look, baby, she said, I'm so proud of you. She said, this is going to be good. She said, I want you to just start reading the book of Nehemiah. I said, okay. Hadn't really read Nehemiah before. Went back and started reading that book, Kathy. And when I say the plan was laid out for where we were and what we was trying to do, it was unreal. And so that has just become my book of study. And so I read the first few chapters, but the Lord would keep taking me back to the first chapter. Keep going back to the first chapter. I'm like, okay, we've got that part right. He kept taking me back. And I now see why, because in those first few verses, first chapter alone, there's so much to say, look, do this, fast and pray, you know, it's there in the book.
Yep.
It is in the book. And so I told her, I saw her a couple of times, and I just thanked her every time. She doesn't even remember the conversation.
Wow.
But that's the Lord working to get the message to me.
Absolutely.
I said, it don't matter. I say, you said it. This is where we were, and this is what I'm using. And so much is spelled out in scripture there about how to do work and watch and bring oh my God, it's there. And so we are on a movement, and it wasn't planned. None of this was planned. But what I see, I have traveled and I look around, and when I'm in that city, sometimes I'll just go and sit at the property. I just sit there and I have to regroup, and I look up, there's a water tower on the property.
Yeah.
And many times I'm sitting there and I'm saying, okay, Lord, this ain't coming together like I thought it was. But he helps redirect me to continue to look up.
Right.
Don't look at what's happening. And there been some days I've been looking up, cars are passing by, people are walking by. It's like, look, that's not your focus right now. You stay focused up here on me. And that helps to recenter me to say, look, you're on the right track. It wakes me up at night. Been doing that for several years now. To say, do this, I've been right. I got notes, and there's so many different pieces to this that have already been put in place. And so now it's kind of like connecting the puzzle pieces to say, okay, Lord, you sent me here, you had told me to talk to this person, I got these notes, so make it plain for me. And all of that's coming together in the bigger picture. Because what I see, I have visited places in other states, Chicago, Atlanta, met with some gentlemen who are running similar but even much bigger than this. And I'm saying, so it can be done.
Oh yeah.
It's just that sometimes we haven't seen it, and we don't see it yet. We can't really see it. Woo. And I need people now who see it before they see it. Because you got to have that vision. You know, the Lord gives us that. And for those who have given and supported, thank you, because you're buying into where we're going. Yeah. And I know others will come along once they start to see some ground moving and, you know, the ground broken and things happening. But it is coming, Kathy. This is something that I have never felt this strongly about what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And in the midst of that, in the midst of watching it unfold, it's like I'm excited because I'm saying, Lord, I'm waiting to see what you're going to do with this, because it's not about me.
Right.
It is so much, and we don't know how it's going to bless. Even what you just said in the beginning about the city of hope. I mean, yes, it will be a building, but it's not just about the building. It's about what's going to happen in that building.
And I want to add this to what you just said, Angela, because, you know, it's really sticking with me, the lady that told you to go and read the book of Nehemiah. And what God wanted you to have, and this is something for all of us to understand. God needs to lay a spiritual foundation in everything that he does.
Yes,
there has to be a spiritual foundation.
Yes.
And so he needed you to go through that book, like go back and forth until he gave you enough revelation for you to understand. Now you can go and lay the actual blueprint, because everything that he does on earth is up in heaven.
That's it.
And what we have to do is we got to pull it down. And how do we pull down the blueprint of heaven? How do we pull down what he has already seen and say, okay, let's manifest this in the earth?
Wow.
You know, he got old people up in heaven and little kids up in heaven that wish they had a hope center down here. But they got hope up there.
That's right. That's right.
And he said, we just need to bring heaven down to earth. Y'all don't hear me today. I know I'm talking good. But I'm telling you, God has a reason why he needs certain things in the earth. And so he said, because I called you to do this, here it is. I want you to begin to make your abode in me, and I'm going to teach you why. I'm going to teach you the how. I'm going to help you to understand the vision so that you will never have to question me about why I called you to this.
Wow.
And I know it's been a faith walk now.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that you've had to walk by faith, and you talking about, you know, having to do something in a city that you never seen before.
Right.
You know, and I can relate to that, because having to do a faith-driven chamber that ain't in Mississippi, and you can't hardly find one. There are faith-based chambers in the United States, but there's not one so far that I can go and just try to understand, what are you doing? And so I know how it feels to try to reach people with something new that they ain't got a revelation about. But then God says, how in the world did they start the business that they got? They had to come through me. And so that's what the chamber is all about. We help people to reach God in wherever they're doing, to make sure that they're doing the way God called them to do it. And so I'm so glad that you are sharing the vision of the Hope Center. Tell us, what do you want to see come out of it, or what is God saying, I want you to build? And I know you're talking about young people, helping young people and seniors, but tell us the vision about what God has given you with this.
Sure. And so our hope stands for health, opportunity, prosperity, and elevation. And we're saying we will bring services, programs, activities into that space in all those areas. So, you know, health disparities is huge in our area. Poverty rates are huge. And so we're talking youth, we're talking working adults, we're talking elder, really everyone in terms of health. So just space-wise, we're estimating about 23,000 square feet.
That's good.
The multi-use space is about 9 to 10,000 square feet alone. The length of 2 full basketball courts, which will be multi-use for the youth programs, for activities during the day for the elderly adults and others. We're talking about a fitness facility to work out, to bring all of that in. We're talking about a business incubator, small businesses needing space to meet, to, you know, do work. So whether it's a day office or they want to just, you know, set up in there permanently. We're talking about a number of health-related services, possibly even from a clinic to just other services, counseling, et cetera, et cetera. When, you know, we run a youth program also called Magic for middle school students. So we had them to imagine, we took them on the ground. What do y'all want to see in this space? And so, of course, you know, young folks going to talk about the norm, the sports and all, but they asked for a room for meditation. Our middle school students.
My.
So we need some quiet space. We heard that. So a meditation space, yes, space for art activities, a commercial kitchen, a coffee house. Where can we go in Canton to just sit and talk? You and I just, let's meet over a cup of coffee. We don't want to go to McDonald's all the time, right? We're going to have different coffee, better coffee, right?
Yeah, gourmet coffee.
Gourmet coffee. But along with that space, Canton paraphernalia around the walls, memorabilia about what life, So it will be that space for that, but also using that space to teach youth entrepreneurship, getting them hired. Workforce development is the other area. Rooms for trainings of different sizes, but bringing trainings in. GED, we've talked with Holmes Community College and some others about what can all of that look like. And so just imagine being in a space where you can bring your young person, you can come for assistance, y'all can be hanging out in the coffee shop, all under one roof. Family entertainment is the other area. We've got the gym space, we're talking about multi-use there. So again, all of that can happen in one location.
Yeah, I believe it.
And in addition to that, we have a lack of transportation and transportation costs for residents having to come to Jackson to get to services, Social Security, VA, disability, all of those. How can we bring those services in as satellite offices? Come in once a week, twice a week, serve the people, and you got space to do that.
Yes.
And so we want to open it up for everyone. We've spoken with persons from the Latino and Hispanic community about services because we have a growing population.
Right.
English as a second language and other services, they're asking for. We host expungement clinics. Yeah. Well, now we can do that not just once a year, but around the year round if need be. And so it's just so much that can be done. And I know they often say, well, it's just a building. This is more than a building, and I know it is.
Yes, it is.
And I'm just saying, Lord, make it be what you need it to be, because you're going to see the blessings come from this.
Yes.
You're using us to bring it about. But in the end, it's not about me. And that's the other thing. You run into chatter in the community about, well, that's Angela Carson. Where's she over there? I've walked through a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I understand.
Community ain't always friendly.
You got the naysayers. But then up in Nehemiah...
where you going now? Yes, ma'am.
God taught you that it was going to be that way. You got the Sanballats and Tobias.
They are there, yes. And they've been revealed. And that's why I say the book of Nehemiah, my God, if it's not plain as day to me.
Yeah.
And it just shows itself. It's playing itself out. And I'm just like, Lord, okay. And so, with the enemies coming, it knocked me, because I'm saying, I'm not trying to do any bad to anybody.
Right.
I'm trying to do, but again, the word tells us in so many places, count it all joy when you do what? You're going to have.
You're going to fall into those places, diverse places.
Diverse places.
Yeah.
And so you see all of that playing out, and I am just thankful that I know the Lord, that I knew him before I started this. But this process has really grown me up, and it's still growing me. And I just say, okay, Lord, it has to be part of the process for me to be positioned to handle what's about to come. So let me take a deep breath, get myself together, because, sometimes when we're hitting and coming at one another, it does not feel good.
Yeah.
You're questioning character and motives, and all of that has been on display. And I'm a low-key kind of person. I don't I know I do what I do, but I fall back. But this has put me on Front Street, which has been uncomfortable, but I'm getting used to it. I'm a shy kid by nature.
Yeah.
I'm that kid who would not answer in school, got in trouble, the teacher calling my mom, But I just said, Lord, I know you got me, but it don't feel good. I don't want to do this, right? But I'm thankful, and I just say, on the other hand, Lord, use me. I know I'm blessed with a number of experiences based on where I've been and things that I've done. And so I'm just at a place to say, let me pour into this community what you've given me. If I can help others, I should be able to help my own. And then I'm going to sit back and watch you take it and do what you need to do with it. And so, like I said, we keep going back to that chapter 1. You know, I jumped to chapter 3, got that, chapter 2. He said, come back to chapter 1. It's still something else I want you to get. I want you to ask for favor, grant favor as you're passing through.
Yeah.
Get the letters from the governing authorities to do something. You know, all that's in that book. And I just say, thank you, Lord.
And so what he was really telling you is that I have endowed you with uncommon favor, but I need to teach you how to use it.
Ooh-wee.
I need to show you that you got it. Because sometimes we don't understand the favor of God that's on our lives because of our shyness or things that we have. But then God says, you got it, but I want to teach you how to use it for my glory.
That is so
and
good.
So you just need to get free in your spirit right now and just say, I got uncommon favor of the Lord on my life. And whatever he says I can have to get this done, just be free in your mind to know that look, if I step into the right place, if he shows me, all I got to do is go in because he's taught me well. Ooh-wee.
Yes, Lord. And you know what? And you know, people say, oh, this is a big project. And I say, big project maybe in your eyes, but it's not too big for him. I've seen much bigger. We're talking like, say, 23,000 square feet. I've seen bigger.
Yeah.
And so Absolutely. He can do it. So that part I stand solid on to know. Now, how it's going to all work out, like I said, there are a lot of different moving parts to it right now, because of course you got to get the funding and all of that. And I'm just saying, okay, Lord, even with that, show us the right path. Who's going to get, but the thing about it, everybody can have a part in it.
Yes.
You know, just you all coming to the gala spoke so highly of what can be. That room was filled with a lot of different folks.
It was.
Right.
It was sold out.
Ooh, so it was sold out. Yes, it was. And so you never know who knows who, and again, how it's going to be layered to say, look, this is what you're going to need. Right now, our early estimates on the building, $8 million. Folks say, how can we? I've never seen $8 million, right?
But look, God said
that's what I'm saying. And I trust him.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's still just minor to him.
It is.
So anyway, I get a little excited because it's just, I'm waiting for the day when the doors open, because I'm already walking down the halls, been doing that. I can see it, you know, but when those doors open and for the people to be able to come in there who've been seeking help, who've been asking for such and such, we're going to meet so many needs.
Absolutely.
You know, just recently we've been blessed to help some people with their utilities, with all of the high utility costs and food and prescription. And just to hear some of the stories of what our people are dealing with, it breaks my heart, you know. And I'm saying, Lord, if we can just relieve stress, and I know even with our youth camp, we never know what situations children are walking in from. If we can provide a safe space with some resources, with some education, with some relief, business and making some money flourishing,
my God,
it can happen on that very ground. It can happen, and so I'm just waiting to see it all unfold, just like other folks are waiting, in a sense.
And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I want you to tell us, how can we help? How can we support? And you know, because you guys are listening out there, and you're wondering, well, you know, what does she need, and how can we be a part of it? I want you to tell us how.
Well, thank you for that. Definitely, it's about the funding right now, and you know, we can, you know, want to see some things done. But I do believe that as a community, and community I'm saying is everyone.
Yes.
It's crossing racial lines, it's called crossing cultural lines. Everyone can give. And that's where we're at right now, to say, look, how can we make this happen? We're not expecting everything to always come from grants and donations, because we're also looking at some loans and other financing pieces. But even going before them, they're saying, okay, so what do you have in the bank? What do you have? What do you bring to the table that we can then match?
Absolutely.
And so with that is where we are, to say funding, and we've got levels from 50 cents all the way up. So there's room for everybody,
Yes.
and every dollar matters. You know, I think back to President Obama when he was running for office out of Chicago. The $5 givers, the $25 givers, that's grassroots fundraising all day long, and it works. It's happening all around. We do it Sunday mornings. It's the giving, right?
Right.
You can take that $5 tither, put that in the bank just like you do the $10,000 tithe.
Absolutely.
And so that's where we are with that. So, but before we get to the fundraiser, let me back up. We need the prayer. Keep us lifted up, because if we stay focused with where God is taking us, the bottom line is this, and I know it. He's already done it. We're just walking it out.
Right.
And so in our walk, we want to make sure that we're obedient, that we're hearing from God, because I get excited, and my sister will be the first to say, look, slow down. Did the Lord tell you? I'm like, well, you know, it's a good idea may not always be the right idea.
You know, that's the heartbeat of an entrepreneur.
Yes, it is.
You know, when them bells get to ringing and the juices start flowing, we like, okay, all right. And so I know I have to watch myself too.
Yeah. But prayer, first of all, funding. Our website is out there, pinegroveassociation.org. Any of those options, you can call me, contact me. We got all of that to say, look, we want to make the giving easy. Yeah. And we want you to sign on, because it's not only going to bless Canton, Mississippi. This is Central Mississippi. This is people from anywhere.
Yes.
Who can come and be a part to say, look, services are here. We want you blessed. And then you go out and you improve your quality of life, because you got some services and support at the Hope Center.
Well, Angela, you know what? We are 100% behind you.
Thank you so much.
You know, I wanted to get you in this space because I know, first of all, I know that it's a kingdom work that you're doing. And we want to find ourselves supporting you in every capacity that we can.
Thank you so
much. And we're going to continue to support you, not just, you know, through collaborations like this, but through financial, because you got to have the finances to be in place for that. So I want to thank you for coming and just joining us and sharing your vision and your heart with us. We are going to encourage each one of you to give. And she has given the website
pinegroveassociation.org.
Yes. And we're going to put that up on the screen as well. And we want y'all to begin to give, because if you've ever had a vision to do something great, and something that you know God called, created, predestined, and ordained for you to do, you want to be found obedient.
Yes, Lord.
And so now, look, this young lady got the uncommon favor of God on her life. So give, and watch God use her and others on her team to make this happen for the Canton community. Yes. I'm a part of the Canton community, and we love our city. We love the people there, and this is where God has stationed us. Yes. So without further ado, we're going to cut this interview off. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your heart, and we are going to see this vision come forth. All right? Look, this is Success Talk. Kathy Amos, Business Empowered, International Chamber of Commerce. We're in Mississippi, so the Mississippi Division, and we want to have you to be a part of the chamber. Go to our website at businessempoweredintl.com and click to join the chamber.